finals are underway. Jamie McLaren kicking things off for Brisbane. And these two teams squaring off in a final for the fourth time. Biggest ever clash was the 2014 Grand Final at this venue, won by Brisbane. And Robbie Slater, we expect another epic this time around.
Well, the carrot's so big, and the way the Hyundai A-League Finals series is shaped now, it's only a couple of steps to the Grand Final from here. So, the equation's quite simple. Wanderers win, we'll have a Sydney derby next week. Brisbane win, they'll be playing victory. So, massive for what's at stake. And if you look at the form of both sides, certainly Wanderers' form we saw with all those stats, second half of the season has been completely different from the first half. And Brisbane always strong at home. There's no doubt about that. You can't shy away from their stats and their final stats as well. 9 finals games, never lost one.
Off the back of Clisby's head to young Aspro. And Jade North gets there first, ahead of Martinez. Playing in the unfamiliar right-back role because Papadopoulos has come to form a central defensive combination alongside Luke De Vere. And Jade North been out ill recently, has to make his way back in the fullback role. Robbie, what do you make of that?
Well, it's no problem for Jade throughout his career. It's a long career now. He's played many times at right fullback, so I think it's a smart one. Rather than change Papadopoulos and De Vere, Jade North, with that versatility, can play anywhere in the back four. He's played left fullback as well. But it is a key area. Might have been his thinking as well, because Martinez is such a key player for the Western Sydney Wanderers if he's in the kind of form that we know he's capable of.
And in the DNA of Brisbane, and so important for that right back to get forward. Since Ivan Franjic and then after him Jack Ingott, it's been crucial in their attack.
Well, look, certainly you're not going to, I don't think you'll get the same output going forward from Jade North, but you will certainly suffer nothing defensively.
Now Corey Brown with the assignment in the left back role against Scott Neville there, and Jumpe. 2 of his 3 goals this season have come against Brisbane, the Japanese import. We all remember what their first Japanese import did in their first ever final. Shinji Ono with that chip of Michael Theo. And a 2-0 win after Dino Cressinger scored with a back heel. 2-0 win to put them into their first grand final in that amazing inaugural season. Out of play off Papadopoulos, who was trying to steer it to Corey Brown. A Greek international with plenty of experience in knockout football in that country. Won a couple of cup finals with Olympiacos. And against the man on loan from Olympiacos in Nico Martinez. Here's De Vere. Have his hands forward, Sanderlab turns it over to Jumpe. Now Antonis, what a difference he has made to the Wanderers midfield. And now Nichols looking for Sanderlab, and it's poached clear by Papadopoulos. Kept alive. Well, surely they're offside. Eventually the flag goes up. It took a long time to do so. The fans were paying for it, but I reckon he's about 5 metres offside.
Yeah, clearly, probably both of them. But a bright bit of play from Western Sydney Wanderers, and you did talk about Brisbane playing Sunday. Easy one for Cornthwaite, but the recovery time, a lot of the Wanderers players, certainly in this opening period, looked very, very fresh.
Yeah, they played a couple of games in quick succession with their Asian Champions League commitments. That was Saturday and Tuesday of the previous week, but since then, the majority of them have been resting up, waiting for this game. Only 2 outfield players of this 11 played in that 2-2 draw with the Reds last weekend. Just drifting into space. And blocked off was Martinez, who's just asking the question about the treatment from North. Nice turn from the Argentine. This Wanderers in the middle, all alone, including Jumpe. Handy first touch. Second, not bad either. They one-hand ball against De Vere. No real appeal from the players out there. Now Nichols around the corner, and De Vere can clear.
Well, I think it clearly hit the hand.
No one appealed
No,
though,
it
so
didn't.
maybe it didn't. And of course, the video referee is in action. The all clear has been given by them. And Jumpe in behind. De Vere overrun it. Chance here. Santalo! Oh, what a save, Theo! And a double save! Inspired stuff from the veteran keeper, keeping Martinez out after the save from Sander.
Well, Santalab thought he'd scored. Brilliant little break. Gets him behind De Vere. De Vere's getting dragged out to that left fullback position already in this opening period 3 times. But a terrific double save. This one is probably the pick, but he still gets himself up and he smothers Martinez. Brilliant goalkeeping. One of the saves of the season, that first one.
Antonis deep. Cornthwaite rising, and it's cleared off the line by Jade North. Brisbane under siege here in the early stages. Now Antonis will unleash deflection. It'll be a corner, and Theo, confident in his angles, just let it go wide.
Oh, he was never going to get there anyway, now for a corner, but that saved this one. Well, that's a replay of the action just there on the goal line. Good strike, and it takes, well, to be fair, it was well off target. It actually looked better once it took the deflection, but that first save from Theo, he was almost on the ground.
He had to wait for the deflection, yeah. Hung in the air long enough with that big paw. Now Martinez against Holman. He's done really well. Papadopoulos flicked it clear of Cornthwaite. Turned over by Cornthwaite. Look at McLaren go. That burst of speed. Trying to keep it alive under all sorts of pressure. 4 Wanderers converged on him.
Well, that was the problem. He was completely isolated as he broke there, McLaren. Terrific start from Western Sydney Wanderers. Right on the front foot, looking sharp, moving the ball quickly.
Corey Brown turns it over this time to Antonis. A flick with the outside of the boot won't stay in for Nichols. And Michael Theo didn't play in that final almost 12 months ago to the day. It was Jamie Young in goal for that 9-goal thriller. I don't think he was looking for Christensen. He hit it wrong, but it worked out just right for the Dane. And now Broish. Tough one for Corey Brown. And Jumpe tracking back nicely, helping out Scott Neville defensively. Helped on by Nichols. Not a bad idea. Sandilow puts his thumbs up.
You know, his momentum was going the other way. He's coming towards the ball, and if he had gone on first intention, it might have been interesting to see whether he would have got there. That's quite often the ball they look for, Brisbane. One where McLaren runs off the shoulders.
Neville could only clear as far as Thomas Broish, and now Brisbane can get on the front foot. Nice little layoff there from Sandilow. Beautiful little cushion for Nichols. Gets it back from Clisby. They want it in the middle again. They're finding space in this part of the pitch. Antonis and company, and now it's Nico Martinez. Oh, lovely. Beautiful. Just dragged it wide. The deception and guile of the Argentine nearly caught them out.
Yeah, just the way how he quickly those feet move. Absolutely brilliant. Use of the body, shapes to shoot before he gets to this position. Not on his strongest foot, and he drags it wide. Had Theo beaten. It just picked up so much space in between Brisbane's lines early in this game. Not even 10 minutes. And the Wanderers could have been 2 up.
First 5 shots of the game come from Western Sydney. Papadopoulos, height advantage for him over Sandilow. 50-50 challenge, well won by Clisby, who's really become the enforcer for Western Sydney after time with Perth and Melbourne City in the past. Played 24 of the 27 games this season under Tony Popovich.
Now you just see this opening 10 minutes, and the problem Brisbane are having is Broish and Borello staying high and wide. Let's wait till this move takes place, Speedy.
Nice ball from De Vere that started it. Holman wants it played in behind. That run rewarded, and he wins a corner.
Now, with them defensively, if they don't get back into the middle quick enough, with Jumpe and Martinez and Nichols all drop into that midfield area, they just outnumber Brisbane Roar in that only 5-on-3.
Brisbane didn't score from a corner all season. The Wanderers conceded just once from a corner situation. How will this one unfold? Thomas Broish to deliver. Just went up a little too early there, Jade North. Came down before it arrived. Barello, a little move on Martinez, who pokes it out for another corner. Which will be taken right in front of those Wanderers fans in the far corner. Another amazing turnout from them. Having to knock off work early on a Friday. Get the flight up. This is the corner where Broish delivered for Partaloo in the grand final. Manny Mackay. And now free header, Jade North. Might have hit his own man, did it? Jamie McLaren or Jack Clisby should have done better there. Jade North, and how was he left all alone? See, defending like that, Robbie, we might have another 9-goal shootout.
Well, completely free-headed, you're right. He should have done better, Jade North. It's a strong challenge from Neville.
Broish wanted it to be sanctioned with a card.
Well, it's clearly 50-50. That's the free header. Yeah, it's not a great one, is it? He goes where most bodies are. They're all on this back post. If he goes towards that near post, he's got a much better chance because Janjetovic momentum taking him across that way already. Maybe surprised he was so free.
It's almost the identical delivery for that Partaloo header that broke Mariners' hearts. Just overhit by Papadopoulos for McLaren through the middle. Getting his head up, nice movement from Holman, and Bacchus came across and took it off his toe. Sloppy pass and nearly some friendly fire there. Aspro shanks one. Look at that from Broish, finds an onside McLaren, teeing up Brett Holman, dangerous! Oh, it flushes just wide. He scored 2 last week from outside the box, and he thought he had another one there.
Well, I think the defender just cuts off the angle, but he gets a terrific connection on it. Smart play from Broish. McLaren has the easy ball to Barillo. It's Holman in space. I think Aspro just cuts off the angle there, and it flashes past that far post.
Well, how are the confidence levels for Brett Holman at the moment? 4 of his 5 goals this season from outside the box. Scored in consecutive A-League games for the first time, heading into the finals. 3 goals in those 2 games. Here's Coletti, an 18-year-old who has so impressed, deputising for Matt Mackay. Neville got a little fortunate there. There's plenty of left side of the pitch to explore if Martinez can open it up. The safe ball back to Aspro. Tony's keeping the club captain Dimas out of the starting 11. Nice little turn, Jumpe. He has made an impressive start in this contest. It was intended for Jumpe. Martinez took it down the line for Nichols. The 2 number 6s head to head, and well, marshalled, and the fans are going to get on this man's back, I fancy, tonight. Mitch Nichols, remember the 2-fingered salute 12 months ago when his team went through to the grand final at the expense of his former club?
Yeah, once a hero in this stadium, in this cauldron, no longer the case.
He used to have a running battle at times with it when he was in Brisbane colours. Remember him scoring at the Den End. A little bit of stick to a few of the supporters. Holman, how good's that? Very effective tackle, and then Cornthwaite did enough. The Holman robbed Bacchus. Great vision, Antonis. Sandelap couldn't quite kill it as he desired with that first touch. Slides it back to Antonis again in space. And he's given it away to Christensen, and they want a yellow card because they saw the tug of the shirt, but we'll get away with that.
Well, already defensively, they're doing better than they did in those opening 7 or 8 minutes. Santalab burst into space. You're right, his first touch took him wide, but then they closed down the space. Borello's coming back in more to help, so is Broyce. So not getting that same amount of joy in the first 7 or 8 minutes. The game's certainly evened out. Tony Popovic will be filthy they didn't take the lead with those 2 massive chances.
Neville winning the aerial battle against Broyce. This man's won more aerial battles than anyone else this season, Jade North. Positive reinforcement, you may have heard there, from John Aloisi to Jade North.
Well, he knows they're coping a lot better now. They're in the game, they've found a little bit of rhythm.
Broyce first time helped it on, found Holman, but difficult one to control. Aspro thought it deflected out off the former Socceroo. Didn't get the decision. Coletti. Fired back to Christensen. The Dane scored 4 goals this season. Offside flag up against Borello once he got involved.
And that ball down the line, it's a very difficult one from Christensen. Even though the winger doesn't check off there, it's a very straight one down the line. It's easy with the left fullback Clisby to read it. Terrific tempo of the game, as you would expect, with so much on the line.
Papadopoulos again taking command of the situation. Really does give them an edge defensively, all that experience played in the World Cup with Greece in 2010, all 3 group games. Handball against Borello this time. Content just pass it around at the back at the moment between the centre halves, having to bring Brisbane out onto them. Now they make their move, but Clisby showed it to Borello, and McLaren just was offside, I think, when that ball was played. So lucky Broyce got involved, gave them an opportunity to keep that attack going. Christensen. That was a good opportunity when Borello regained possession there, but they weren't quite in sync, he and McLaren. Might be something brewing this time if Christensen can move it on, but Sandelab was nipping at his heels.
No, I don't mind that from Sandelab. It's a foul, but he never gives you a moment's peace, and just one of those, if he just manages to nick the ball without the little push. I've seen so many times attacks start from that sort of position.
Sent off at this venue earlier this season, Brendan Sandelap, for an incident involving Jade North. It was before video review. The assistant did well to pick up on what happened, and now a booking is coming for Kieran Bacchus. Dangerous play on Joe Coletti with the high boot, and the youngster certainly felt the impact there.
Well, once he made up his mind, his boot was already high and he didn't pull out. So Gillett, no hesitation, hand straight to the pocket.
And the first booking of the evening on Kieran Bacchus. Coletti able to soldier on. The Joey's captain of the Under-17 World Cup a few years back.
Well, he's certainly impressed, hasn't he? The big boots to fill. Matty Mackay. So often really the engine of this room. What about that from a pass from Coletti?
Yeah, found Holman, allowed him to turn. Borello cut back. Corey Brown across the face this time. Really good chances at both ends now. And Brown claiming a deflection.
Well, it might have been a deflection. First glance, I thought it would be, but I don't think that's going in, is it? And he goes for placement rather than power. Let's have a look from here. Yeah, it is, and that is going in. I think that might be sneaking it, at the very least hitting the post, but clear defection. And he's gone for placement. Didn't hit it with his laces, and I think from that angle, Speedy, I know you've got that disbelieving look on your face. I think that might have been going in. There was a bit of curl on it.
Yeah, I'll say it's going wide, but definitely a deflection off Neville. Should have been a corner. And he scored just his second A-League goal against the Wanderers earlier this season. At the other end, he just leathered it in after being found by Broish at the back post.
Well, that was different. This one's coming across him rolling. The other one was a volley, if you remember.
Yeah, that's a nice ball from Brown down the line from McLaren. He delivers, and the deflection off Cornthwaite helped out his central defensive partner. Do your best with that, Sandelab, and he did. Fabulous work. Then he's brought down, so Nichols has no support, trying to buy some time and has to be content with the throw-in. How well did Sandelab do there with that header?
Well, you'd written him off.
He sprung to life.
Literally.
Nice ball from Bacchus this time. Nichols hearing the boos. Little deflection. Martinez wanted it. Sandelab took it. And the follow-up strike from Antonis. He's capable, but that one didn't come down.
Yeah, Martinez, I thought he was favourite there. Sandelab took it off him. He was on his right foot, but he had a clear strike there. Takes it off and does swivel, gets the shot away, but they managed to block it, and that's a wild one from Antonis. Comes right off the outside of his boot.
And we are in the 23rd minute, 22 minutes on the clock. So the crowd are standing for the number 22, Thomas Broish.
Well, you're standing as well, Speed. Where have you got him in the top three? You said we'd have that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you mine. Berisha, Broish, Zvansvik.
This is something the fans came up with. A lot of them not happy with the way the club legend has been dealt with this week. With no deal on the table from Brisbane. Of course, a 4-year deal was the marquee plan. Ended at the end of this season. Brett Holman and Tommy Orr are going to be marquees from next season in backdated deals. So well done to the fans for acknowledging the number 22. Clean shaven for the occasion. Still got Asian Champions League commitments, and there is an outside chance that Brisbane could host the grand final. If the Victory and Sydney FC get knocked off next week and Brisbane win both of their finals. Third place team has gone on to reach the big one just twice. Away is the cry. Corey Brown deals with it. Grand final winner has come out of that top two in each of the previous 11 seasons. Both of these teams hoping to create a little history. The Wanderers trying to do it from 6th, Brisbane from 3rd. Martinez, elevation, here comes Bacchus, trying to place it home. No one picked him up, and Theo is conducting an inquiry.
Man, he should do better. Completely unmarked. Difficult one, it's on the half volley. But for me there, you've got to hit the target. At least work Theo at the near post. And just a rather tentative attempt from Bacchus, who'd made the late run from the edge of the box right around the back and was untracked.
Theo's seen it before in a final against Western Sydney. Matthew Spranovic opened the scoring from a corner in that 2014 decider. near post header from a Shinji Ono cross. All cut out, Borello. North getting his head up, putting it out in front of Holman. Look at the work rate of Brett Holman, who got it on the half volley. Gives McLaren a chance. And he got there ahead of Cornthwaite. Really difficult one to try and get the shot on target.
Yeah, well, it's really well played from Holman, who didn't even look. He's just, he knows he can't really beat Aspro from there. So first time cross, one touch, first time, and he's just banking on McLaren making that run we all know he loves to make. And very nearly came off.
Good ball, Antonis, to his midfield mate, but Bacchus with a poor first-time pass intended for Martinez. Now the Argentine has it, and Sandelab made his move. And Papadopoulos was waiting, and he was fouled by Sander.
Never really got it under control, and he's really going for the ball. A bit of a follow-through. Lucky to get a free kick there.
Borello won the flick on, also came off Aspro. He was grateful to turn around and get it back off McLaren. Lisby takes off, and he thought Martinez had to be moving into that space, but he was being manhandled, so the whistle has gone in his favour. Instructions on the run for Kieran Bacchus, and with a worm's eye view down there, Nick Meredith.
Yeah, Speedy, the Western Sydney Wanderers midfield's doing a really good job here. Martinez is getting free quite a lot, and Brisbane are just having trouble picking him up. Antonis is getting deep and getting the ball, Bacchus is getting the ball, and just that four in midfield with Mitch Nichols are giving Brisbane some real structural problems at the moment.
Yeah, it is an important battle tonight, no question. Keep an eye on that. Now Clisby's delivery. Not a great clearance. Cornthwaite able to tidy up. Here's Bacchus, Antonis, Clisby. Can he deliver on the left? Didn't have the confidence to do so. Plenty of teammates were making a run, hoping for a quick one whipped in. Neville tees it up. Sandelab was attacking it. Jumpe on the second ball. And now Antonis heading it back into the mixer. And Nichols will keep it in. Sandelab was just down in back play, you may have noticed there. Still limping away. Aspro summed it up all right, but caused a few heart palpitations for the Wanderers bench. Sandelab moving freely again. It's good news for Western Sydney fans.
Oh, he's so composed there, Aspro, wasn't he? Under pressure from Jamie McLaren. Cool as you like. Kept possession quite easily.
Nichols playing for the free kick, and he gets the whistle. Joe Coletti thought it was just a battle of strength he'd won there. Eventually Nichols able to play it around Coletti. Now he's got it back. Mitch Nichols drives it into Jumpe this time. Teammates getting in the road at both ends. Who are you? Is the cry for Mitch Nichols. He'll be filing that one away. North on the left. McLaren making his trademark run. Again, Aspro coolly done. Now Sandelab will chase this in the corner. Theo comes out of his area. And he couldn't quite keep it in. Bent back into play. Across the sideline on its journey. Martinez. Tough to get on the end of that return ball, but how are you assessing that midfield battle?
Yeah, look, very difficult the opening 7 or 8 minutes, and then I thought Brisbane got better. They've just started to get a little bit on top now, the Wanderers. You saw Jamie McLaren coming all the way back to defend. That's not what you want.
Case in point right then with the long ball, and he's nowhere near it. Look at that possession in the last 5 minutes. Dominated by the away team. Who came into the finals unbeaten in their last 6. Popovich was under fire, wasn't he? At the turn of the year. Went on Bill and Boz to say, we'll be right. We'll be ready to go come finals time, and we can still win the whole thing. Here's another booking. It's for Sandel at this time. Got to watch himself.
The eyes have gone. He's got to control himself, Santaleb. Didn't see it that well because I'd followed the clearance.
Jared Gillard pointing out
twice.
An accumulation. He's had 3 actually. And there we go. The ball's long gone, and then
he's late.
Makes contact.
I think you can have any argument with that. Threw himself into it. Yeah, no problem. I think with Santaleb though is he actually doesn't think there's anything wrong with that.
Just putting myself about.
Well, he's just all action. He's so enthusiastic, and he just steps over the mark.
It's a 9th yellow card this season. 1 straight red at this venue, as mentioned earlier. And for a player who does put himself about, of course, he's got to watch his step now. His referees do have him in the back of their minds with the way he plays, and there was a lot of publicity about a challenge he made against Adelaide United way back at the start of the season, and he stayed on the pitch and scored the winner. Nice ball carved out by Antonis. Good header. Neville. Jumpe just had to wait for it a fraction. Neville, little turning circle. He's got options. To Antonis. Look at all the space for the former Sydney FC man. Can't find the effective pass, but track down the second ball.
Yeah, that rotation in the middle of the park, the Wanderers are just not dealing with it. Brisbane.
Beautiful. Nichols helps it on. Martinez trying to open up the angle. Oh, Theo had to react late. Just got the right mitt down in time.
That's a terrific save in the end, because he, as you said, he sees it late. And you think, well, this is past him. And he somehow, lightning reflex with the right hand, and pushes it away from goal, importantly. Martinez, you've got to know he wants to work it onto that left foot. And that's where you saw the hesitation, saw it late. And it's terrific one-hand save. Maybe a slight deflection. I think Theo thinks that Davir's going to clear that. That's a wonderful save, because it's almost behind him as well.
He's made 3 tonight at the end, where he came up huge in that penalty shootout in 2011 grand final. He's won 5 of them. 3 with Brisbane, 2 with the victory before he headed north. Big game player. And has been huge tonight. Sent off a few weeks back against Adelaide United, and Jamie Young got a good run of games, but Theo back in now.
Well, that's where they've had no joy. You think with Jade North playing on the right side, the left side was so important tonight. And Brown and Bruce looks off his game to me.
Oh, now Holman's followed through on Clisby. They want similar sanction, and they're going to get it. First Brisbane player booked.
Sure about that one, to be honest with you.
As a former player in that situation, you're coming across the player's path. Yeah. You know you're going to collect them, don't you?
Well,
or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. I think you saw the reaction of Clisby. He played it quite smartly, I think. I think they haven't given the 2 for the Wanderers. You know, that kind of challenge was always going to get one.
Braithwaite comes across. Good communication between he and Aspro. Gives us the opportunity to say hello to Tara Rushton.
You see Bryce there as McLaren runs in there. Bryce has got to try and get it across. And for me, he's ball watching there on the edge of the penalty box. You might not get there, but you've still got to make the effort.
We'll get to Tara in a moment. Wanderers have dropped really deep here. Ball along the deck from North. Finding Holman, reverse ball. McLaren not going to get there. And Jedovich bowls it out to Jumpe. That's going to skip away to the advantage of De Vere. He also keeps it into good effect.
And then they're just a bit slow, aren't they? Just dwelling on the ball a little bit too much, and Wanderers so sharp.
More Sanderlab. And they're up. Christensen, John Aloisi and co.
Yeah, well, look, that's not a second-yard yellow, but the trouble for Sanderlab is you've got to be careful because you've had one. Always looks worse on slow-mo on a replay.
Can you get the second yellow for an accumulation of fouls again, or does that only work for the first one? If he gets to wait, we may be looking at a second yellow. And Tony Popovic has something to think about now. He's got young Lockie Scott on the bench, but he'd love to get out to Sanderlab and tell him to cool down a little with those challenges.
This has been their outlet, hasn't it? Down this right-hand side, where Broish comes inside and they just haven't reacted quick enough and maybe slid across or someone's dropped in.
And Tonus, beautifully done again. He's having some game, isn't he? Gets it back here from Nichols. All the way through. Jumpe, flag stayed down. If he'd controlled that better, massive opportunity.
The Wanderers will get it back because that kind of ball to Jamie McLaren's not going to work.
Coletti up there on the bounce. All Borrello. How strong is that from Aspro? No need for the whistle. Good refereeing too. Advantage played. And he almost gives it away to McLaren. Antonis again. Right choice for Neville down the line. Bacchus tried to ride the challenge. In the end, De Vere said, I'll have that.
Yeah, but they win the ball and it goes straight back to a Wanderers player.
Jumpe pokes it out to Clisby. Antonis. Bacchus. Martinez helps it on. Scott Neville. Corey Brown, who leads the league in blocked crosses, got a little piece of that and helped out Brisbane. Still, they come again. Neville this time finds feet of Nichols. Rebounds to Neville. They thought he was offside, those fans on the far side.
He just comes straight back.
Bacchus, low and hard, and Sanderlab's not going to get there.
Well, if they sit this deep and they're that disorganised, it's only a matter of time. That right-hand side, Corey Brown's getting overloaded down that side. Boris isn't too interested, to be honest, to help him out. When he does try to help, it's too late.
We can now hear from Tara Rushton.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brent. Well, it's a very, very impassioned and fired up John Aloisi's sideline. He's not happy at all. He's finding it very uncomfortable watching his side at the moment, and I'm expecting the Roar will be getting a fair rocket at half-time.
Yeah, we've seen a few reactions from John Aloisi. Sanderlab's chasing this, won't want to kick it now, Sander. Yep, just leave it behind.
Smart. Well said, Speedy. Brisbane, look, De Vere's just taking his time here, just getting a breather. Long Tony Popovic will go for it right now. Clearly on top.
The danger, if you do that, is that Brisbane
can hit you on the counter, but look at this.
And they're playing the last 15 minutes of halves is where they've scored most of their goals this season. I think they can finish strong over the top of opponents, utilise their fitness. But as we've mentioned, the fitness battle could be won by Western Sydney tonight with their freshness. And it's not 30 degrees and 90% humidity here in Brisbane tonight, Robbie.
No, it's a beautiful evening. Nice and cool. Pitch, considering all that's been played on it recently, in pretty good nick.
And the grass about 2 millimetres longer than normal. Nice ball. Holman threaded it and picks up the scraps too. And he slid in. Gee, Jumpay.
Exactly what I thought. Yeah. Mistimes that, he's in big trouble.
There are players playing on the edge tonight. You wouldn't expect anything less in a final. Christensen stabs it. Jade North. Oh, he found a teammate. The two fullbacks combined, and neither of them noted goal scorers. It showed right there.
No, it's completely unintentional. Jade North going for the spectacular volley. You can see he wasn't real confident. There wasn't a lot of conviction in it. And then Corey Brown, I mean, could have done better. I mean, that set up really nicely for him, and that's not the technique required.
Sandelab tracks it down. Look at Clisby pushing on. Nice ball from Sandelab out in front of the left back. Taking on Jade North. And Jumpay moves into space, edge of the area. Antonis just sold Jumpay a little short. Holman looks up. Only McLaren to hit, or Borello to try and send down that right-hand side. He gets the better of Bacchus. Lovely little turn away from trouble twice. Brandon Borello.
Oh, he's done well because he had absolutely no help at all. That's poor from Brisbane. Coletti, Broish very static. He looks like he's got the other things on his mind this evening, Thomas Broish.
They've had the Champions League to contend with, haven't they? And he's been playing a lot of games of late. Used to seeing him getting rotated, but as I mentioned, that game, they just had to go the whole 90 last week against Wellington. Fans loving that from Papadopoulos. Who were second in the competition this season for pass accuracy and passes in the attacking third, and they've done plenty of attacking tonight. Thomas Broish, you picked out, Robbie, just feeling the pinch and won't help out defensively here either. Just gave up that time. Corey Brown 2-on-1 again against him, and Coletti can clear.
Well, it's a poor ball from Coletti. I know he's under pressure, but he had Broish. Because Broish had just, well, he'd clocked off, he was completely unmarked and Coletti couldn't find him.
Not a bad ball from Nichols. Jumpay trying to climb over the top. And now Neville just strolls on in and wins a corner.
Well, look, that side has been a problem. I think just Thomas Broish there, he just didn't have the engine. He'd run out of puff. He twice left Neville. This was the second time for Neville. Coletti maybe a little touch there, and it's a good block in the end from Brown.
Martinez on to attack for Cornthwaite. Brought it down, but Brisbane able to clear. Advantage played. Here is Broish. Normally so effective in this situation. Sums it up well to McLaren. He's got nowhere to go, though, as Wanderers regrouped in defensive transition.
Oh, you say it summed it up well. It was the wrong ball. The ball was the diagonal. Holman, with his hands up in the air after it, had pulled off into acres of space on the other side.
If Robbie Slater's the manager of Brisbane, he might hook Thomas Broish at half-time. Not sure how that's going to go down here at Suncorp, but he turned it over
look,
again.
Great play. Look, I'm just stating what I'm watching, and everyone's seeing it. And great players do have the ability, and Broish has done it before, to not, to be struggling in a game, but to pull himself out of it and do something exceptional.
Sandalab just back onside. Couldn't get the attack moving, but look at Bacchus. Pounce on it in midfield. Neville, he's got all the space he wants. Oh, penalty! He gives it the referee. Papadopoulos fouled Sandalab. Looked a clear one on first inspection. They'll review it now, but I think the Wanderers are going to have the chance to open the scoring from the spot.
Well, Papadopoulos, I think the look on his face says it all. And again, it comes from the right-hand side. He clearly missed the ball.
And treads on Sandalab's right boot.
Yeah.
And the fans in the stands can't quite see that on the replay, but
Oh, it doesn't.
maybe on that one either.
Well, that angle, it doesn't look like there's contact. The other ones, it does.
But they're not going to overturn that, are they?
No.
And Terry Antonis, given the responsibility from the spot. This makes Sandalab scoring the more remarkable this season with no penalties amongst his 14. We saw Dimas take his fair share, but he's on the bench tonight. So it's Terry Antonis with what may be the last kick of the first half. Michael Theo playing some mind games as he did in that 2011 grand final. Told to get back on his line. Antonis! Theo got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. And Terry Antonis silences the den.
Well, I think it's the power that beats Theo. He's filthy with himself because he certainly got, he guessed the right way and he got contact on it. And maybe the power saves Antonis because it was at a good height for the keeper once he guesses that right way, but he couldn't keep it out. This is the penalty. Look, I have no problem, particularly this angle. I think he goes across him. If you're going to make that sort of challenge in the penalty box, and you run the risk. Gerard Gillett doesn't get them wrong very often. There you see he gets good contact on it. He's filthy with himself, but I think just maybe the power saves Antonis. And whatever you say, the Wanderers deserve the lead. And clearly the better side. Theo's made 3 or 4 great saves, and they've been well on top. And it all came from that side again. Thomas Broich clocked off again, and Neville's had to run down that right-hand side.
Well, they hit back straight after conceding in last year's finals against the Victory. Straight off the kickoff through Matt Mackay. And Broich! It was on target. And Janjetovic with the solid claim. Referee hearing the boos as Broich took fire.
Well, he skipped inside and he's going for that top corner and hits it too straight. Wanderers worth their lead.
Saying they were the draw specialists, though. Let's hope we can peg them back in this second half. It's Brendan Sandalab, who was a key figure in that first half, who gets the second half underway. Brisbane complaining at half-time, not just about the penalty, but about Sandalab not being off the pitch, Robbie. 2 big talking points.
Well, for me, 2 points. That I didn't think it was a second yellow. I thought it would have been soft. I don't think he should have been off, and for me it was a penalty. So Papadopoulos makes that challenge in his own penalty box. There's contact, and you can say he went down easy or whatever you would like, but there's contact, and for me it's a clear pen. And Western Sydney, for the most part, completely dominated that first half.
And Thomas Broich returns for the second 45 as well. Nichols, what a little manoeuvre on Luke De Vere, who let him go and wasn't picked off in the end.
And that movement they had in the middle of the park, Martinez, Jumpe and Nichols, certainly caused all sorts of problems. And the overload on Corey Brown down the left-hand side. Thomas Broich's side, there was monotonous really in its regularity.
McLaren got there on the half volley. He was breasting with Aspro as well. And Neville scoots away from Broich. Across comes Coletti. It's the throw for the Wanderers. How long do they go with Thomas Broich, do you think, in the second half, Robbie?
Well, look, I think you look at it the first 15 minutes and see if that trend continues. It certainly looked like his mind was elsewhere in that first half.
Oh, heavy touch from Papadopoulos. Bacchus was there first again. Here comes Clisby. Martinez was the target.
Yeah, it was the right ball, just the execution. And another example of winning that midfield battle. Bacchus has been excellent in there. As has Antonis.
That's the obvious change, isn't it? We've got Tommy Orr waiting in the wings, a natural left winger where Broish plays. And Neville, who helped create that penalty. Broish working hard defensively that time, but it was too easy for Neville again, and offside Jumpé here. Disappointingly, after the ball was threaded through a defender's legs to find him. Clisby latches onto him. Numbers in the box as Jumpé runs at Corey Brown, drops the shoulder on him too. Risky challenge, took the ball and a little bit of man, just the corner.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's good defending, timed it well. Didn't play with the right idea, and because he's positive, he gets his side of corner.
Works short to Antonis. Headed clear to Clisby by Borello. Bacchus standing it up. Martinez will track it down. Could have used Antonis, but trying to take on Holman. Antonis just leaves it for Neville, allowing Cornthwaite to get back into position as well. Testing the referee's patience with how long they've taken for this throw. Professionally done. Antonis, the first half he had, capped by the goal from the spot. Visiting team dominating possession. Seen that too often down the years against Brisbane. The Wanderers have had 54% of it, and that stat is growing. Given away by Neville right on cue though. But broken up by Antonis. Crucial involvement as well, because Holman would have been released there. Not a lot of movement for Brown, so he throws it to the chest of Broish. And a pretty good option down the years, and he found space. Broish can turn. Uses Borello. And go back to the German. Finds Holman. Finally, they get a little bit of fluency going, and Holman gives it away to his opposite number. Nichols lay off. Sandelab was going the other way. Coletti doesn't even use Christensen. The fans love that. The youngster gets it straight out to North, but he doesn't get forward like the right backs of recent years for Brisbane, does he? We talked about that heading into the game. Now Brown. Broish! A block by the two centre halves. And now a tug back by Papadopoulos. And Sandelab looked to release Nichols.
Oh, Broish just hanging on the edge of that penalty box. Well found by Corey Brown. His first touch wasn't great, but still picked him out. So often we see those in recent weeks. Aspro and Cornthwaite so often get that block in.
Don't win championships without a solid defence. That's what a lot of people believe. And the Wanderers are looking pretty good with these two in the heart of it.
Yeah, slightly stretching, but it's probably headed for Janjetovic anyway.
Into the thigh of Cornthwaite. Christensen trying to ping a diagonal. How good is that? Out in front of Borrello. Royce wants a cut back again. McLaren peeled off towards the penalty spot too and was fired across the face.
And only one to pick out. McLaren went to near post and just checked out towards the penalty spot and didn't get his head up. Borrello whipped it into that near post area.
Holman just went sideways there when opportunity may have been just return it to Bruish into space. And they come towards the left-hand side. Back to Holman. Borrello's in all sorts of space. De Vere tried to hit him. Really tough ball to execute. Holman wins it back. De Vere can't punch it to Bruish either on that occasion. Nichols helps it out to Sanderlap. Great movement. Backus just demanding the ball in midfield. Martinez was on a wavelength. Advantage played. A brilliant advantage too for Antonis to slide it through. Sanderlap. Nichols all alone. Brisbane's defence, eventually they got there through Christensen.
Well, he did have time, but not that much time, Nichols.
Good header, Cornthwaite. To the advantage of Neville, who can whip one in. He uses Jumpe. Royce across, struck his hand.
Well, their attacking players are doing so much defensive work at the moment. When they get the ball, they're looking for a breather, Brisbane. The movement, particularly Martinez and Jumpe, and so technically gifted when you can play the ball into them in a tight space.
All summed up by Holman. No way over Cornthwaite to release McLaren. And they'll come again through Antonis. No one coming to converge upon him. They do on Martinez and take it away. Well played, Borrello. Counter-attack potential here. Bruish waits and delivers to Borrello in stride. Whoa, McLaren! 1-1. You wouldn't expect anything different from the Roar at home, would you, in a final? They pegged the Wanderers back less than 10 minutes into the second half, and McLaren has 20 for the season.
Well, it's the classic counter, and I was just talking about how Jumpe and Martinez so comfortable on the ball in tight areas. Well, Martinez got his pocket picked from Christensen, lays it into Bruish, facing the way he wants, and he perfect weight on the pass for Borrello. Look at that. One touch, his next touch is a strike off the base of the post, and McLaren, as any good striker, worth his weight, follows up and gets a tapping into an empty net. It's a classic Brisbane counter. All the way from back, really in the front third for the Wanderers, and they've got themselves back level.
And Bruish had a major role to play. John Aloisi keeping him out there, knowing what he can do at the attacking end. Got to stay switched on here. Christensen takes it away again, and it's opened up for Bruish once more. Borrello steams forward. Holman in support. Brett Holman's kind of range, and wrong option that time.
Well, he's probably thought he's had so much joy from that sort of position. Bruish, probably saying to the players around him and thinking to himself, well, get me the ball in attacking areas and I'll show you what I can do.
Oh, McLaren nearly deflected one home as he closed down Aspro, who was a little casual that time. Jamie McLaren has become the first man to score 20 goals in consecutive A-League seasons. Flag goes up against Sanderlap. Surely you don't have to wait until he touches it there to put the flag up.
Well, it did take a long time. It was clearly offside. But Brisbane got to get their chins up now.
The young man who was nominated for the NAB Young Footballer of the Year again in the month of April. He won it last year. I think he's going to be hard to toss at the awards night in a couple of Mondays' time for that award, where he'll pick up the Golden Boot and and share it with Bessart Barisha. Golden Boot race ends after the home and away season, so he has edged in front for the season tally. Should have had 20 last week. He fired a spot kick straight at Italiano, could have had it outright. But he was right where you want a striker to be, following in. I thought Borrello's strike was going to find the bottom corner. He probably thought he'd done enough. McLaren on hand to tap it home. And you talked about it, Robbie. Wanderers so dominant in the first half. Should have led by more.
Yeah.
Now Tony Popovic is thinking, oh no, not again at Suncorp. Ball's not quite. Who's going to go to their bench first tonight as we near the hour mark?
Well, the complexion's changed, hasn't it? You can see more animation from John Aloisi now on the Brisbane bench. He was sort of motionless for large parts of that opening 55 minutes.
Royce will keep this in. Look at that for a touch to find Holman. Breaks for Coletti. Suddenly they're picking up their fair share in midfield. And the rotation literally from Borrello. Little flick from Broish. Borrello didn't have the angle really to get it back across Janjetovic, who was well positioned.
It's like you're saying, that midfield now, they're picking up the second balls all of a sudden. Getting to that front third. And again creating a difficult chance for Borrello. It's quite an easy save for Janjetovic in the end.
Saw the urgency there from John Aloisi when they won that throw-in. Wants them to keep moving. They have all the momentum all of a sudden. And when they attack that den end, special things can happen. Royce presenting himself, and again the flick finds a teammate. Given away though, Sandelab just didn't find the angle he was after to Nichols, who would have had no one to hit, to be fair, in the middle. That was a little risky from Brown.
He was got away with it, Junpei, with the deflection. Theo able to pick it up.
Well, here we go. They're going to say back pass, are they? It deflected off a Wanderer. Hello, what's going on here?
It's never a back pass.
That's a way to wind up John Aloisi even more after he was complaining at half-time.
Well, he's tried to play the ball inside. Big deflection, goes to third. He's got every right to pick it up.
Here we go. Off Junpei. That's why it deflects to the keeper. And that's where he picked it up. So the free kick should be there if they're going to give one, but it should never be. But there's no video review. You can't re-referee this one. They just had a shocker, the officials.
It's just, like you just said, that's an absolute shocker. John Aloisi just cannot believe what he's witnessing. And they're a really good position for the Wanderers. They won't worry.
Let's go down to Nick Meredith quickly. Wasn't there a flick-up free kick
here
once?
Asking for a review there, but I believe technically they can't. So it's obviously a wrong decision, and the video referee is to avoid the howler, but it hasn't worked there.
And the free kick should have been taken another 8 yards closer to goal. They work it out for Martinez, whose shot is blocked. Fans love that. It'll lead to a potential counter-attack. Oh, Borrello went back into traffic. Now it's okay. No, not quite.
Well, in the last 10 minutes, it's the first foot Broish has made wrong. Or pass is not made, just a little overhit to Coletti.
Free kick earned by Broish.
Gotta love finals football, don't you? You just feel the tension on every decision. It's like,
and remember, these referees are auditioning for the grand final as well this weekend, and it's going to be a little black mark against them. Broish keeps it in. Thornthwaite casually down the line. Nichols offside. No, Sandelab on. Fans on this side, they thought they saw Sandelab offside. Breaks for him again. He's turning into a bit of a playmaker on this occasion. Brisbane waiting for Martinez to come to him. It's poked away effectively by North. A little flick from Borrello. And Antonis can't keep it in. Heavy touch. Sandelab tease him in, deflects out off him, and there's ironic cheers as Brisbane finally get one. Coletti all summed up. Cornthwaite in flight. Look at the first touch, Holman. How good's that? Looks for the extravagant switch to Borrello. He's going to find him. Can go back and use Jade North. Christensen hung up to the back post. Broich is there, and Janjetovic saw the angles and said, well, let it sail out, but it took a deflection early in its journey. Corner.
That was a poor ball from Christensen. Somehow managed to get a corner out of it.
And Janjetovic is thinking, if I knew it had come off my teammate, I probably would have tried to pluck it out of the sky and prevent this corner. Brisbane score from one. For the first time all season, the Den demands it. Jade North will track it down. Good ball back in too. Papadopoulos brought it down. It's all Wanderers eventually. Brown elects to go for it on the half volley. Found Jade North. Borrello. Oh, good looking ball. Nice idea for McLaren. Well goal kept.
Maybe just not enough pace on it, but Borrello's been electric in the last 10 minutes. Beating his defender in front of him every time.
Touch from Jumpe, and Coletti went for the rugby tackle. And he goes into the book. 2 from each team now have been shown a yellow.
Easy decision.
Pretty professional for an 18-year-old to make a challenge like that. Didn't want them to get rolling. Learned a lot of his craft at Football Tech, the Trefiro brothers, who do a bit of training for youngsters in Sydney. Former Wanderer amongst the Trefiro brothers. Closing down Cornthwaite. Not a lot of movement from the other Brisbane players. Now they press, and Bacchus finds his way around them. How fresh is he looking still? Continued his run towards the edge of the area. Jumpe finds him, bounces it off to Antonis. Lovely ball, threaded it through to Clisby. And that's a shocking end to a promising build-up.
Yeah, it was really good football from the Wanderers through the middle, from the right-hand side, and Clisby provided some really good moments from that position this season, but that certainly wasn't one of them.
Western Sydney won only one of their last 7 games at this venue. And after early success, their first ever goal as a club and the win when Mark Bridge scored when they were massive underdogs here against the champions back in 2012. Extra time will be utilised if we can't split the teams after 90 minutes. And 2 of the 3 previous times they've squared off in a final, we've needed the extra 30 minutes. Only that first encounter, that 2-0 win at Wonderland, has it been settled in the 90. Broich is there, offside by about 10 or 15 metres. Continues to go on for 3/4 of the game. Neither coach has gone to their bench yet. Factoring in that extra time perhaps with their substitutes. turn very comfortably. Martinez, little shove from Christensen. Advantage accrues eventually. Christensen wins it back. A poor touch from Martinez. Has been a little quiet.
Second half, I was about to say he was very dominant in the first half, but very quiet second half. But they seem to have taken the sting out of Brisbane somewhat. They were absolutely rampant after that equalising goal for the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Neville. Antonis kept it away from Borrello. Now to Nichols. Wanderers' form over the last 10 rounds, second only to Sydney FC with what they've done to build towards the finals. Giving up the lead here in the second half. Jumpe onside. Trying to turn away from Coletti. Oh, Jumpe, ambitious, trying to fire it in that bottom corner.
Yeah, good idea, and made the little bit of space, jinked one way, the other way. And then going for that bottom corner. Ball in from Neville. Comes back this way. There's the half a yard, and I think there's quite a few bodies blocking the way to goal as well.
Just thinking I've got the Midas touch when I play Brisbane. I may as well give it a crack. 2 of his 3 goals against them this season. Broish gives up pretty early. Another great goal kick from Theo. Broish and Theo, the first 36-year-olds to play finals for Brisbane. Nico Martinez slides it out. Clisby ain't going to get there. Foot race won by Borrello. Confident enough to go back to Theo in that situation. Clearance only as far as Antonis, and the Wanderers remain on the front foot here. A shout from Neville. Broish getting back.
There you go. Who says he doesn't track back?
It's a crowd lifter and a team lifter. Timed the challenge beautifully. Oh, McLaren, goal side of his man. What a touch! Jamie McLaren, can he finish it off? He fires it straight into Aspro. Wow, that first touch and the ability to get rid of defenders deserved a bit more. Borrello, after a sloppy clearance from Aspro, and goal kick in the end. They'll take that, Western Sydney.
Well, didn't make the most of that, did they? McLaren, the ball just wouldn't drop for him, but all started from this terrific work from Thomas Broish, and that's a good ball from Corey Brown, and then just didn't get that touch quick enough, and Aspro and Cornthwaite were there to smother that danger, and then Borrello really took on something too difficult when he had a better option to his right.
Only one of his 20 goals this season has come from outside the box. That was that stunning effort against the Victory in a similar kind of situation. Misplaced pass for Antonis, fired straight back to De Vere. Did well. Antonis and Backer still buzzing around in midfield.
Well, it's been a much more even battle in the middle of midfield there. Tony Orr getting ready. Instructions.
Will it be for Broish? Keeping an eye on Nichols. Scott Neville reportedly off to Perth again. Josh Risdon coming the other way to join the Wanderers next season. The right backs could be trading places. Both part of the finals action this weekend. Josh Risdon will be in Melbourne to take on City. That's 7 p.m. on Sunday night. Set the planner for that one to round out your weekend of sports viewing. After their 9-goal shootout last week in the West in round 27. Borrello, I think he was trying to lay it off. He was getting clattered into by Clisby. Now he chops Sanderlab, who rides a challenge or two. Great strength, Sanderlab. Jumpe. Neville's getting there again. Junpei may have been going for a cross or a chip. Neville. Oh, Coletti. Just outside the area. If it was to be a foul, I fancy. And Holman.
Oh, it's fast and furious, and because that's a little bit scrappy. Jade North has stayed down in the centre circle. I think he got fouled about 3 times, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't signal advantage, but they broke it down this week. Santalab v McLaren. 1 goal every 76 minutes for Santalab and 1 goal every 110 minutes for McLaren. A backhand there for Borrello, and there's the chop. If he went down there, it's a yellow card for Borrello. Pickle juice has been swooshed through the mouth by Jade North. Wearing the captain's armband. Matt Mackay still out for a couple of weeks. They'd hope to get to a grand final to get him involved again. And here's where North went down. Cramping up in that right back role. A bit more running to do. Corey Brown was talking about it in recent weeks, saying that when they get the GPS reading afterwards, both he and Jack Ingett do the most kilometres a night, 15 kilometres a night, including the warm-up and the game for those fullbacks. And that's the role North has had to play tonight. Christensen, for the time being, slotted into right back with North still off. We'll have young Crestani on the bench as defensive cover. Intended for Nichols, or was it maybe Martinez, as Neville pointed afterwards when Nichols got involved. Now McLaren would have been the meat and the sandwich had he gotten there. Blind pass by Martinez, but Antonis made it work. Remember, the Wanderers win this game. They'll take on Sydney FC in a Sydney derby. Week 2 of the finals. If Brisbane win, they face the Melbourne Victory in week 2. And Coletti, sloppy giveaway. Junpei quickly to Martinez. Held back by Christensen. Santalab trying to place it. They're not going to come back because a shot was fired away in the end.
Deemed that advantage. Might have been better to come back for the free kick, given the tame effort.
And then bring Dimas off the bench for a bit of special teams play. He's at that end where he scored a wonder free kick earlier. He's onside. Brett Holman! McLaren trying to get there again. Borrello! Oh, what a clearance! He fired it straight into Scott Neville in the end. And they bayed for a penalty, but it's a free kick the other way against McLaren. It's all happening at Suncorp.
I think he gets it right, but Borrello, what a miss. I mean, he's got the hold of the goal, and he's gone for power when he just needed to place it. A save from Janjetovic and just couldn't keep a hold of it. Aloisi now thinking, how's he not 2-1 ahead?
And McLaren left it for Borrello. He said, go on, finish it off.
That was the right decision at that point.
Good ball, Corey Brown, to Borrello. It's opened up here for Holman. He turns away. He had 2 options there, Borrello. He was just fighting for possession. Could have slid McLaren in as well. Now the Wanderers drop so deep with 2 banks of 4. Nice switch to Broish. The feed of Corey Brown. Oh, a brilliant save, Janjetovic. Cleared in the end by Aspro, but he got down so smartly to his left.
That's a good strike. Corey Brown takes it very quick. First touch and second touch almost in one motion. But a terrific save. It's nearly past him when he gets his left hand to it.
No one there for the tap-in. Gee whiz, it's opening up now in the last 15 minutes. Janjetovic making the majority of saves in this second half. It was the other way around in the first. Now, Santalab wins the free kick, but he palmed off Christensen.
Well, it was 2 fouls. We come back for the first one, and then the second one was Christensen. Gives him a slightly better position. Here's the chance, Corey Brown. Great action from him. First touch, almost in the same movement. And that ball's nearly behind him, and he gets his left hand down low. There's been some terrific saves in this game.
Yeah, Janjetovic talked about it this week, thinking, well, saying that he thought about giving the game away when he dropped back to number 2 at Sydney FC, but then the Wanderers came calling. Got the opportunity to return to the number 1 role with a rival club.
Well, you don't need to be giving the game away just because you lose your spot. Got to fight for your spot. He's proved to have made the right decision.
What do they do here from the free kick? Antonis scored the only goal for the Wanderers from the penalty spot late in the first half. They're going to go for goal here. He dinks one. Jumpe not going to get there. They do come up with some special things from set pieces, but that's not going to live long on the highlight reel. Well, it's Brett Holman to make way for Tommy Orr. Got a lot of action of late. Working his way back to peak fitness, and hasn't it shown? He gets the early mark for Tommy Orr. Royce and Aloisi perhaps discussing who should play the Holman role, and they say Tommy Orr can. He did it a lot in his time in
Royce
Holland.
Just asking the question. Thomas Porsche not with the happiest of first halves, and did say that great players can pull themselves out of it, and he certainly has in this second half.
Theo under pressure.
Taking a risk, really.
Corey Brown runs out of play, so he can hook it upfield. Goes out off Jumpe. First involvement gave McLaren one to chase. Well-timed header by Corey Brown, but Antonis, that was a fair ball, required the intervention of Brown. Otherwise, Nichols was in behind the left back. Now he gets it. Wearing the captain's armband. Dimas on the bench. Clisby. Now Barello comes to close him down. That ball not on. Papadopoulos swings the right boot through it. And Christensen, Barello, and North says, get it out of here. Kept in by Aspro. How good's that to find Bacchus? Now sliding it across to Nichols. Neville outside him. Martinez making a run, presenting an option. The Argentine just shakes De Vere out of his boots almost. The equivalent of a killer crossover on the basketball court. Fresh man, Tommy Orr, makes a difference there. Might have been caught late, kept his feet. That worked against Brisbane. Did well to find it. Martinez there, did Neville. Antonis, how often has he had all sorts of space around him? Morello, great work rate defensively. Papadopoulos, just get it long to McLaren, try and get the striker to make something happen, but Cornthwaite towered over him. Clisby stands it up towards the penalty spot. Levy's header only as far as Nichols. High boot lets them off the hook.
Oh, he shouldn't let the ball bounce there, Neville. Didn't have to let it bounce. Once he did, got himself into trouble. The Wanderers just taking control of that midfield in the last few minutes. Not really able to produce something in the front third. This is that chance for Barello. Holman with the first straight, Janjetovic with the save, can't hold it, and look at this. He's got work at how much of the goal he's got. Should have scored.
Composed stuff from Scott Neville on his own line, wasn't it? As he waited for the strike from Borello. Galletti looking around for support. De Vere provided it. Nice touch off Jumpe. Antonis quickly across in front of Broish. Sandelab picks up the scraps. He knew Nichols was hugging the sideline. Early ball. Well done, Christensen. Could have overrun that. Maintained his balance. Borello. Little flick. Wasn't by design, but nearly worked out. And clips Antonis in the end. It was about this time that final last year against the Victory really livened up. A goal from Bessar Parusha with Victory down to 10 men. Quick equaliser from Mackay. We're going to see a goal here. Jumpe just couldn't get it over the top of Theo or to Nichols, who wanted it just rolled to his feet.
Oh, it's a terrific run. Just couldn't find the final pass. It's going to go out from Theo.
The intensity in the faces. Apart from Ross Aloisi, of all people, who cracked a smile. Quickly back to poker face from Roscoe. Jared Gillett just sorting out a bit of niggle. Got his eyes on Sandelab, so does Joe Coletti. Brown does well to keep it in down the line. So does Cornthwaite. Back the other way. De Vere gets it down to play some football. Borello quickly laid it off to Orr. Look at Orr set off. And use Coletti instead, who can open up the right-hand side. Jade North is bombing forward. Championship winning captain with the Newcastle Jets. One more championship in Brisbane Royal colours for Jade North, the veteran. He left it for Borello, but may have put him off. Oh, a little touch from Sandelab could easily have found Nichols. Coletti quickly to Broish, lovely turn. Hits the heels of McLaren, worked out okay for Tommy Orr, who goes down. Referee waves off the appeal. They'll be reviewing it in the video area. And I think that original decision will stand again. Nichols offside.
When I was first glance, I thought it was okay. And it's a shoulder there. I think that would have been really soft. They give that one.
Even gets the touch on it there, doesn't he? And you saw Jared Gillett put his finger to the ear. Oh, does he touch it? Jared Gillett got the all clear from Strebray Dolowski. By telling Tommy Orr. As the heavens open at Suncorp. Adding to the theatre in the last 5 minutes of normal time. Tommy Orr just couldn't get the first touch, and then the high boot against Bacchus. Thought we were going to see this rain a bit earlier. There were ominous clouds when we arrived at Suncorp. Finally, the heavens open now. Look at Borello trying to open up the Wanderers, and Sotirio's been out there for about 30 seconds, and he's already in the book.
How often do you see that, though? The sub comes on, first foul, bang. Because it's later in the game. Borello at times, with the ball at his feet, has been electric in the second half. And he's one-on-one. Jules, whoever he's been up against.
Mitch Nichols was the one to make way for Sotirio. Royce. Well, the reason he stays out there is for set-piece delivery. Papadopoulos deep. Away by Neville. Coletti picks up the scraps. Tommy Orr on his wrong side, has to get it out on the left. Oh, yeah, hung up long enough for Janjetovic to come. Backus sorts his feet out. Jumpe can turn and go upfield if he likes. Sotirio's gone out to that left wing. Martinez dropping back into the Nichols role, and Sotirio's committed another foul. Jade North, who played as a right back against Japan in a World Cup qualifier here in 2012, before he eventually signed for Brisbane. Royce can turn. Corey Brown, foot race. Cornflake gets there.
Good tackle. Smart play from Broish again, and loses out that one though.
Sandelab now has the captain's armband given to him by Nichols. Are we looking at extra time in the first final of 2016-17? Royce in space, put his hand up. Christensen fires one out. This switch of play has been a sight to behold tonight. Now Broish. Barello! Oh, what a save! Janjetovic again, it hits the crossbar twice! Incredible!
That is some save, isn't it? What about the ball from Broish? Absolutely perfect, and it's a great strike from Barello. What a reaction save from Janjetovic to keep his side in it.
Well, both goalkeepers inspired tonight. Royce hangs it up. Jay North! Didn't he climb? And he couldn't direct it on target. What a leap for a man struggling with cramp. But McLaren was just waiting for the ball to fall for him. It hits the crossbar twice and eludes the number 9.
Incredible save.
How good's the ball from Broish, who just spots those deep runs, doesn't he? Did the same thing with Corey Brown against the Wanderers earlier this season. 3 minutes of stoppage time for someone to find a winner in normal time. That'll do for Western Sydney. Aspro fires it out, and he's pulled up a little lame after that one. The young centre-half back to his feet. As Brisbane keep it moving, Broish plays for a free kick. It's just the throw. Royce wasn't sure. I think he thought he was able to take another set piece there. Just the throwing. Christensen still full of running. Broish offside, disappointingly. Look at Broish. He's done it. He picked the pocket of Backus. Barello into space. Brandon Barello, and again Janjetovic closed down the angle.
Yeah, that's the one he's got to cut back. Barello, just a rush of blood. He's had a few chances, set up the goal, the one off the post, and that one was too acute, that angle. But terrific work from Broish. What a second half from him. After one of the worst halves I've seen of him in the first half.
Saving himself energy-wise. Now Christensen! And remember, Janjetovic must be a little nervy. Last time he was here, he let one in off Holman from long range with a bit of a goalkeeper blooper. But he has been outstanding for his team tonight. Hoping to play in front of a Sydney derby, or in a Sydney derby next week against his former club. Snakes will be at the ready. Christensen growing in stature, but the header favoured Jumpe through the legs of the Dane. He poked it away though from Martinez. Backus picks up the scraps. Sandelab makes his move in behind Coletti. That ball is on. Oh! Joshua Sotirio. What a moment to grab the headlines.
Oh, brilliant ball from Sandelab. And what about this for a pass inside Coletti? First time cross, completely unmarked. It's not an easy one. He just keeps it down, he scores. That's all he needed to do.
Confidence in his left boot. He might go with that one, but he goes with the right. A little rusty, understandably, though. He's been struggling to get on the park of late. He might just about do it. Jarrett Gillett will be surveying his watch very shortly. There's no time for Bacchus to try and create something. For the third time in 4 finals meetings between these two. Another half an hour of entertainment coming your way in Friday night football. Brisbane will be attacking the den end in the second half again of this extra time period. Broish working hard defensively. He's timed another one to take it away from Neville. We weren't seeing any of that from Broish in the first half, but certainly found his energy since then. Now the foul has been given away. Martinez winning it. Antonis has gone across the tank. Driven in low, away by Broish.
He's just everywhere, Broish, isn't he?
Yeah. De Vere. Tommy Orr having a look over his shoulder. Clisby couldn't quite hang up for Scott Neville. Just sliced off the outside of Clisby's boot. I probably should have expected a draw after the 90, Robbie. Historically, nothing between these clubs in terms of wins head-to-head. 19th meeting tonight, 7 wins each heading in.
Yeah, certainly a terrific game here. So even certainly the Wanderers dominated that first half. Probably should have had more coming into the half-time in the one goal they had. And then Brisbane, what a reaction that always seems to happen, doesn't it? Here, Suncorp, when they kick towards that den, it's just like they lift a gear.
Well read by Luke De Vere. One and only Socceroo cap for him was against Germany in a 2-2 draw. He's certainly in form to catch the eye of Ange Postecoglou right now. Antonis thought he might have played that out off the studs of Borello, but throwing went Brisbane's way. They can't make anything of it. Deflects to Sotirio. He did well to find Clisby with a no-look pass, and he overhit it again.
That might have been a no-look pass as well from Clisby.
No target pass.
Yeah.
Scott Jamieson was the left back last season in their run to the grand final. They lost to the Reds at Adelaide Oval. Every time they've been in the finals, they've gone on to reach the big one. Unfortunately for their fans and the players, they've lost each and every one of those grand finals. Domestically, at least. Of course, they won the Asian Champions League. And Scott Neville. Antonis gets it into the area briefly. Martinez now. De Vere comes across to lend a hand to Corey Brown. The quick feet of the Argentine. Antonis, great technique on the cross and wasn't attacked by Sandelab, who just reflects on the opportunity there.
Yeah, he's thinking to himself, I should have been attacking that. That's why he gives Antonis the thumbs up. Maybe didn't think Antonis went across that one first time. See, goes to go. And ends up on his heels. He'll get a corner out of it.
Well defended by Jade North as well, who knew Sandelab wasn't coming in. Now Antonis, Theo comes. The keepers have had a big say. They may have the final say tonight if we go to a shootout. Header misdirected by Clisby. Punched out in front of Tommy Orr. He runs into Martinez and wins the free kick.
That was a good result. Because Tommy Orr skips past there. He had two to his left, but simple obstruction from Martinez. Certainly had a very good first half, but the second half was certainly less prominent.
Royce has pinched a couple of metres here just to get the angle in his favour. Away is the cry. Tommy Orr picked it up and wins another corner. Deflects over the crossbar.
Jamie McLaren, another. It was always going to be a difficult one, but you know Jamie McLaren, once he gets in and around that penalty box, he's got one thought on his mind, and that's why he's got 20 goals for the season.
Thomas Broish, since he's come into the competition, has whipped more balls into the penalty area than anyone else by quite some way. Here's another for North. They want handball there. It was close range stuff if it did strike the arm of Scott Neville. Again, the review underway. Counter-attack is ongoing as well. Sotirio with pace just burst past Coletti. Now he might try and cut back inside. Eventually the pass across, and Theo, worried about a back pass situation, got there first and caught Antonis as well. Wow, the action continues.
Right, Coletti done for pace, and Sotirio just couldn't take the angle. No, that's not a penalty for me. It's a poor back header from Jade North. And Sotirio, as he lays this one across, touch off Christensen. Certainly no penalty. And De Vere hovering on the ball.
He's right, though. It would have been a back pass if he went to claim it with the hand, so
right.
he had to go in a dangerous situation. And it looked like Antonis had come off second best, but he's limping away, and Theo's in a bit of bother. So this is where the management of the two coaches, by keeping substitutions up their sleeve, could be very handy. Jamie Young waits for the call. Oof, and see, a real test for the medial.
See, first reaction was to get straight back up. Now just testing that.
Jamie Young goes in search of the gloves. So we're going to have a fair chunk of stoppage time at the end of this first half of extra time. Will Theo be able to go on? The hero of grand finals past.
Well, in the meantime, Bacchus has gone off and Dimas has come on. And you can see here, good contact with the ball, and then, oh, that twist.
How good's that replay, huh? See just what happened. Antonis did get there first. Theo then makes a good clearance all ball.
And the physio's called on, I think, the doctor at the moment.
So the club captain not picking up the armband from Santalab. Dimas, who spoke about it during the week, that lost his spot when he went back to Spain for the birth of his first child, Alexia. Says he has no regrets about doing that. But the form of Antonis and Bacchus has kept him out of the starting lineup. And are they going to be forced to make a change? Yes, they are. Look how upset Michael Theo is.
Yeah, it's a big moment. Been excellent tonight.
By Jamie Young. What about this? The potential for a penalty shootout, and they do change keepers. It's forced this time. Not the old Louis van Gaal manoeuvre, which he did in the World Cup with the Dutch. Goalkeeper change required, so one more substitution up the sleeve of John Aloisi now as Jamie Young comes on. Former England youth international. He's had his share of game time. There were juggling duties with pair of them between the Champions League and A-League for a while there. Jamie Young was playing in the continental competition. Now Martinez, look at this little tricky run. And Santalab and Jamie Young straight into the action to palm it aside for the corner.
Extraordinary. Santalab, he must have thought he'd scored because he's hit it with such power. He's given it some violence right inside or just outside the 6-yard box. And how he gets his hand up to this, you'll never know. That's just a little bit further out. But again, it's nearly behind him. The pure power you would have thought would have taken it past him and would have burst the net.
Straight into the game. Here he comes again and nearly takes his teammate's head off. He punched both Broish and the ball. Always got to be ready to go as a number 2 goalkeeper, but not often you get the call in a situation like this. Jamie Young was ready. Flick from Borrello doesn't come off. Martinez has Sotirio outside. Only Santalab to hit in the middle. Now they get a few more numbers in there. He finds Santalab. Papadopoulos got a little physical with Santalab after the first touch. Crosses the sideline.
Look at Thomas Broish there, tracking back on that side in the first half where he didn't really track back, and he's not giving Scott Neville much at all in this second half.
Helped on by Tommy Orr. Cornthwaite has to turn and he goes for the safety first option.
Yeah, he could have played that one back to Janjetovic, but doesn't take the risk. Jamie McLaren breathing down his neck.
Brown drops the shoulder on Jumpe, who's a little tired now. He's onside here, Tommy Orr. Deflection helped out Cornthwaite, but he shanks it out for a corner. Sixth corner of the evening for the home team, and they have looked threatening at times. Jade North getting on the end of things. Out comes Janjetovic. Papadopoulos couldn't direct it on target, and North tried to put it back into the mixer. Corey Brown had to go safety first with Sotirio closing him down. No, Sotirio's off.
He's off.
A second yellow card for clattering into Corey Brown, and they're down to 10. Look out, Brandon Borrello. He came in and followed up and knocked Sotirio over.
Borrello doesn't need to get involved, but Sotirio, look, it's enthusiasm. He wants to get to that ball, but has he overdone it? Corey Brown takes no risk. Once the ball bounced, and he's late. Really, he's got to know there that he's on a yellow card. And he really leaves the referee with no other decision but toward a second.
You think? You think that's a certain second yellow?
Well, he's hurtling. He's never going to get there first to the ball.
So the substitute who came on in the 87th minute picked up a yellow card less than a minute after coming on, and now he's got his second. So Popovic, his team, have to rally here with 10 for probably 20 minutes or so of game time, because we're going to have significant stoppage time here at the end of the first half of extra time. And the follow-up work did get Borrello in the book.
But once you know you're not going to get the ball, I mean, you've got to slow down.
Yeah, it's been a pattern tonight. We've seen yellow cards for just that already. Martinez, lovely little turn, lovely close control. Now Santalab bursting into space. Across comes De Vere. And there's no foul there. It's a throw into Brisbane. And Luke De Beer looks at Sanderlab and says, what are you doing?
It's been a terrific tussle between there. And to be fair, when I looked at first, I thought it was a foul.
Shove in the back.
And I think that just confirmed it. It could have quite easily been a free kick for the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Only the 2 goals tonight so far, but hasn't there been some action and some talking points in this one, as these 2 finals rivals over recent years have gone head-to-head again and provided all the Friday night drama.
So just 2 banks of 4 now with Sanderlab up front on his own.
Too close to Janjetovic.
Jumpe on the right, Martinez on the left. They'll come in narrow when they're attacking.
Feels like unders 3 minutes. Anyway, that's the added time. Theo was down for, it seemed like, at least 4 on his own. Now a little nudge is spotted and given. Sanderlab hitting the deck. Maybe down to 10 men, but they can get it to a 50-50 situation in the penalty shootout. If they can hang on for the rest of extra time. They've shown the ability to maybe score with 10 men, and how often do we see that?
It's how clever Brisbane can be. It's well over from Neville. Can't blame him really for taking a strike from there, but Papadopoulos with that ball out from the back, that's not the way Brisbane need to play it. They need to work the 10 men.
One more sub in the hot seat behind Johnny, talking to Roscoe. And stream forward here. Borello, little chest control. And across the face, Janjetovic able to claim it that time. And McLaren right behind him. And that was the man. We can now reveal his identity. Nick D'Agostino. Galletti, nice little flick around the corner. Broish running at defenders. Borello is the option. He finds him in stride. Brandon Borello blazes over the top. Couldn't keep it down.
And that's all he really needed to do. I thought he hesitated a little bit too much anyway. He's giving Clisby time to really come and put pressure on. There he hesitates too long. Really one touch, and Janjetovic's angle he's come out on, you could have almost just side-footed past him, across him to the far post, but that position, it's about composure, isn't it? You don't need to put your foot right through the ball there. I mean, it looks great when you hit it right and it crashes into the top of the net, but terrific run and perfect pass from Bosch.
Perhaps the mind games of a wide player in that situation. Of course, his shot rebounded off the post in a similar situation. First half, did he think, do I go the same way, or am I trying to go across the keeper? And then Clisby was the fly in the ointment as he flew in late and maybe put him off. There goes the half-time whistle in extra time. Jamie McLaren gets the second half of extra time underway. Brisbane attacking the den end. And they were ominous in that second half when they did the same thing. Now playing against 10 men. Can they capitalise on the absence of Josh Santerio, who was sent for the early shower? And they want width provided. Broish is telling Galletti to fire it out towards Brown. Youngster check back the other way. Christensen. Rotation. Flick from Borello. And Now Tommy Orr trying to flick it home with the outside of the boot. Just wide.
Well, he gets it on the outside of the boot, and that's probably the only option. The other one's maybe the right foot. Big deflection off Clisby, like a toe poke, and he's relieved, isn't he, Janjetovic? That flashes past the far post. But that's the key. We use the width. It's a little bit less on the left with Broish. When he comes inside, can release Brown, but certainly Borrello capable to do that.
Here's Borrello with D'Agostino ahead of him. I think they're going to dominate possession the rest of the way. The home team. Coletti able to turn. D'Agostino. McLaren now offside, so he uses the right option. Tommy Orr. Nothing ball in. Matched onto by Martinez. Took his eye off it. Borrello got back on the blind side. Christensen gets it back to the wide man. Tries a little move on Clisby. He's going to run out of room.
Well, he's backed himself too much there, but he's been excellent. It's the start of the second half, and they come back and won that ball, got it back here, maybe just run out of legs, and Clisby able to shepherd that ball out.
I think Clisby got bundled over by Borrello, who was on a yellow card, and the referee came over and gave Borrello a warning and said, be careful. But it wasn't the same kind of challenge as Sotirio, so he gets away with it. Cheering from the den. Look at Popovic, how animated he is. John Aloisi relatively restrained. Tangle, Sandelab, foul against him. And holding back De Vere. This is the outlet now, isn't it? Borrello down that right-hand side. Papadopoulos eventually to D'Agostino. Borrello makes a move out in front of him. Oh, he tries the Ronaldo little flick, and Aspro was alive to it. Christensen. Coletti. Look how deep the Wanderers are here. Broish. Christensen. Across the face. Away is the cry, and Aspro obliges. Christensen again. Dinks it. They want handball against Dimas. One back quickly. It'll stay in for D'Agostino. There's no way out for the Wanderers at the moment. They just have to dig in and play for penalties the way this is evolving.
Out in the old, maybe possible counter that presents itself.
Broish along the deck to Borrello. Will he take on the strike? Opens up the angle. A little closer now. Driven in. Chance. D'Agostino right into the back of Aspro. Pinballing around there. A bit of head tennis. Great cross in, giving D'Agostino a chance to redirect it. They come again. Christensen. Tommy Orr. They want handball, and they get it that time against Santa.
Yeah, he's a little bit lucky because his first touch is horrible, Tommy Orr. And he gets the handball from Sandelab. The first touch not good.
Sandelab saying, I'm protecting myself from the high boot.
Yeah. Might have had a case as well.
Tommy Orr has placed this with purpose. Remember when he burst onto the scene as a teenager? I think it was the same blade of grass, wasn't it, Robbie? Almost.
And I think I got it wrong. I think I called someone else.
Did you?
It was Tommy Orr.
Yeah. A free kick to announce himself to the Australian football public. Now Tommy Orr Good-looking free kick, but it's straight at Janjetovic. How immense has this man been tonight?
Well, it's a decent strike on it, but doesn't really get the shape, and Janjetovic perfectly positioned, confident in his wall.
No foul on De Beer. He has to get going again with Neville.
Jumpai's down with cramped.
Yeah, not a whole lot of movement out of him. And that time, let's come back towards Jumpai.
He could have got up and got that.
Would have been offside. Bite the fingernails time at Suncorp. They might be forced to use that change. They are. Brendan Hamill is ready. An attacker for a defender. Forced, but understandable at this stage as well. In no hurry to get him off as well. The pressure the Wanderers are under. They'll gladly take a breather, his teammates. Now he's told to leave the pitch after receiving treatment. And he'll soon be off for good. Fancy. Just get it to Borrello when they please. Tommy Orr, good control. D'Agostino
Thought about it, didn't he?
Ruish. He's got Corey Brown waiting for it. Hit his standing leg. Second crack at it. Hit Tommy Orr. They got in a bit of muddle there.
No, it's just, and it's rushed from Brisbane. Not a lot of composure there from either Brown or D'Agostino just before him. He's really struggling, Jumpai.
Antonis had Sandilands right through the middle. Bit of room between Borrello and De Beer as Papadopoulos was out of position.
Look at Christensen closing down as well. He's been excellent this evening.
Borrello kept it in. How good is that?
As has he been. Borrello from the start of the second half.
Brisby breaks things up. Hamill waits to enter the fray. Next stoppage he'll be on. Dinked in by De Beer. McLaren chested it. Clisby had to be careful in his back. And Aspro sees off the danger for now. Time for that change. Jumpai is going to soldier on. And ahead of a penalty shootout, they're taking off their striker and top scorer.
Well, he doesn't take penalties. You've pointed that out, Speedy.
Surely he can take one of 5.
You would think so.
Christensen giving him the hurry up. Now he says, I better get rid of the armband to Dimas.
He'll probably say, sorry, mate, I forgot to give you this before.
And Jared Gillett lets the crowd know and the Brisbane players that he's adding all this time on.
And maybe the reason for leaving Jumpai is clearly struggling. He is a penalty taker, you would think.
So what's Jared Gillett do? Hit lap time and it all adds up and he knows how much time to add on at the end. Surely that's a theatrical gesture from the referee who never seemed to get the time right. Anyway, Sandilands makes way for Hamill. Striker off, defender slash midfielder on. And as the Wanderers dig in. And Hamill with some instructions for Antonis and Dimas. De Beer.
Too narrow.
Ball pass to Broish.
Yeah.
Neville picked it off. Look at Scott Neville go. Oh, showing the studs. Papadopoulos. Fortunate for Neville and Papadopoulos, perhaps, that the defender didn't run into them. Now Tommy Orr on his right peg. Cries for handballs. Cannon off Aspro. Now the cross on the left. Neville's back there already. How good's his engine?
I'm agreeing with there. He's coming with his studs. He's just lucky he's got none of the player and all of the ball.
Borrello, little Check back inside. Tommy Orr opening up the angle. Slicing it out in front of Thomas Brush. Papadopoulos, he took a risk here, didn't he?
Have a look at this. Whoops. Well, Neville sort of asked the question.
Because he takes evasive action from a two-footed lunge.
Yeah.
That could be a straight red. He's got through the evening so far without getting a yellow. It was an opportunity perhaps for him to be booked earlier. And that could have been a straight red. Now he climbs over the top of Dimas. Back to Papadopoulos, gives him McLaren one to chase. Cornthwaite had to let it bounce. McLaren, nuisance factor. Still he goes, they want handball. The referee was well positioned, waved off the appeal. Now Broish. Didn't he open up the angle beautifully to thread it to Tommy Orr. Back post. Christensen just peeled off, hoping it would get to Borrello.
Yeah, I think Tommy Orr in that position, I think he's got plenty of room there.
Handball was against McLaren.
Yeah, to go towards that near post.
Now McLaren. Oh, he nearly poached one. And it went across the face. Scott Neville was there again. Martinez fouled.
What a ball as well from Borrello. And McLaren was there. Just need to slide as a touch. So difficult to defend. A slight deflection as well. You just can't get anything on it.
Thomas Broish is looking over saying, "You calling me Tommy all of a sudden?" And he got his man. And here comes a yellow card for Janjetovic for time wasting. Now, if he's adding all this up, how much stoppage time will there be after 120 minutes? Agostino gets it back here, and McLaren again. Scott Neville, but it breaks for Orr. Now Broish has it. Not enough on it to find D'Agostino. Good stretch from Dimas. Antonis, little nibble by Christensen. We don't give out the 3-2-1s, but if we did, Terry Antonis would be in the mix.
Christensen as well. Borrello.
Goalkeepers.
Well,
there are some options for the man of the match.
Well, I think we've got to give one.
Martinez is going to track it down. Corey Brown has lost track of it for a moment. And they do it with 10 men. The number 10 wins the corner. And Cornthwaite comes forward. He scored a double not that long ago against the Jets in a 3-0 win, did the big corn dog. You don't get anything shorter at this stage of a game. Dimas with the delivery. And away by De Vere and then Coletti. It's going to spin away to the advantage of Wanderers defenders. Rain begins to team down again, and Young able to let it come to him. Peter Green, the fourth official, has the board, has the number loaded, ready to let everyone know how much time at the back end here. Only 1 minute. All that added up to 60 seconds worth. McLaren trying to get in behind. Cornthwaite able to hook it clear. Haven't had a shootout since Perth against the Mariners in 2011-12. Broish, was he fouled? They're going to have a look at it. Jared Gillett waves away the initial appeal. Royce thinks he's earned a spot kick. The Wanderers, well, that was professional by Corey Brown, who dumped Jumpe in the centre circle. That kept one player out of the counter-attack, and they see off the threat. McLaren's getting back on side here. So they fire one looking for the number 9. And obviously they've waved off that appeal. It's all clear. Royce was hooked. There was contact, but not enough to overturn it on video. And we are going to see a penalty shootout between these two.
Wow.
Here we go. Veteran Janjinovic, some incredible saves across the 120 minutes. Now against Borello. And he sends the keeper the wrong way. And they do start from in front in the shootout.
Well, the first one, well, I don't know if they're all holding the nerve, but certainly Borello did. Excellent second half from him. And he was their biggest threat, second half and injury time. And he keeps his nerve and slots it away. Janjinovic goes very early. And they have the advantage.
Antonis taking spot kicks at the same end against different goalkeepers on the same night. He slotted it at the back end of the first half. Antonis, oh, a little cheeky one. Right down the middle as Jamie Young committed. That's pretty cool.
It's a little Panenka, isn't it? Nearly.
Just swerved it away with the keeper going the other way. Now D'Agostino.
He always looked confident, didn't he? You saw Antonis, you saw the shot of him. Sometimes it's a bit like that. You just look at the face. I never like players who turn away.
Still a teenager, Nick D'Agostino, with all the pressure on him here to keep Brisbane playing from in front. Scored a couple of goals in the season proper.
Short.
A couple of nice finishes too.
Short run up as well.
D'Agostino. Oh! How's that for confidence? Top of the net.
Well, you don't stop those. Youth on the side. No fear. Bang.
And then the flex.
Why not? Well, 3 good ones for the moment. Dimas, the substitute. Whereas the mind games, Jamie Young comes up to hand him the ball.
And he is their nominal penalty taker throughout the campaign. Slotting in at number 2 in the order. The club captain with the armband on now. Dimas off the long run. Jamie Young went the right way, but it's dispatched.
No, he's just picked his spot. And although, if you pick your spot and you hit it well enough, you'll score, in spite of the keeper going the right way. And that's exactly what that was. Perfect penalty from Dimas. And the pressure moves back. And Damie McLaren, as I said, missed one last week, which would have given him the golden boot outright. It's still golden boot with Besant Berisha.
That was a rare miss from the spot. McLaren, golden boot winner, does his part. 3-2 to Brisbane.
Yeah, it's similar to Dimas in a lot of ways. He's just picked his spot. He's made his mind up, and again, you hit it well enough, even if he goes the right way, you'll score. And the key is always when it hits that side netting. The keeper can't get there. And so another really good penalty. Wow, 3-2. Players holding their nerve.
Now the man who was named the media's player of the year for Western Sydney at the awards night, Nico Martinez, the tricky little Argentine. What's he got in the locker as Jamie Young just makes him wait? And wait. Martinez, oh, again, side netting, beautiful.
Yep. Tony Popovich. Coaches must hate this. And again, goes the right way, but you hit it well enough, they're not going to stop it. I've now said that 3 penalties in a row, but it's on the money.
The only players at the clubs who've taken shots in penalty shootouts before. Matt Mackay for Brisbane is out injured. Shannon Cole not part of the squad today. It's Luke De Vere. Straight on. Oh, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. The big centre half.
Well, this one, it's not perfectly hit, so if he goes the right way, he'll save that, but he doesn't.
Never in doubt, says De Vere.
It's relief.
Brendan Hamill, one of the substitutes, only got out there very late in the equation.
Well, the tension around this stadium is incredible.
He's attacking it pretty straight too. Hamill, and again Jamie Young went the other way. So it's 4-4, sudden death time.
And it'll be Christensen. Again, nerve held, not completely down the middle. Keeper going the wrong way. Unfortunately for the keepers, the times they've gone the right way, they've been just so well hit. With the fist pump. And Christensen, one of the best players on the park this evening.
Where does the Dane go? Oh!
Bit of bar there.
Janjetovic flying through the air. You thought he was every chance, having picked the right way. But as you say, off the underside of the crossbar. Pretty central too in the end.
Well, if you hit them high like that, the keeper's not going to get there.
Only if they stand up and stand over like Young did when he got out there tonight. So Robbie Cornthwaite to keep the Wanderers season alive. Doesn't muck around. Cornthwaite, oh, top corner, if you don't mind, from the big corn dog.
It's quite possibly the best of the lot. And I was just thinking to myself, he was in such a hurry. Wow. Demonstration of penalty taking being seen here at Suncorp and around Australia on Fox Sports.
So we're going beyond the 5 for both teams. Remember, Thomas Broish was applying the ice pack. He's going to have to take one, and if we get to 10-10, Tommy Orr right now to make it 6-5 and does. Bottom corner.
Bit of post. Unstoppable. Bit of keeper, maybe. I heard something, and he's hit it with real power, and it's going into that corner. A bit of keeper. And still proof of you pick your side, you hit it well enough, you score. Sudden death.
Now it's Jumpei's turn. If Brisbane keep dispatching it, the Wanderers have to respond, or their campaign is over. Listen to the crowd try and put Jumpei off. Jumpei straight at Jamie Young, who is the goalkeeping hero after replacing Michael Theo tonight. Brisbane into week 2 of the finals. They'll take on the Melbourne Victory.